Yet again, for another year, we've reached another somber milestone with nearly 2.2 million visits to food banks across the country in a month. That is double compared to what it was in 2019. And yeah, it's unfortunately we're getting numbers are heading in the wrong direction. We're definitely seeing deepening levels of poverty and food insecurity across the country. Um, and as more people are struggling to meet their basic needs, housing and food combined continue to be costs that devour the bulk of people's budgets and low income people's budgets in particular. So as people are struggling to make ends meet, they're having to dip in their savings more than they had to before. The proportion of children is the same as it was before the pandemic, but given the overall growth we're seeing many more children. So we're now seeing 712,000 visits by children alone in the month of March, whereas that's a significant growth from 6 years ago before the pandemic. Families with children have increased from about 19% to 23%. This group in particular, households with children, they're being particularly impacted by these rising living costs. We're also seeing record numbers of working people or people who get their main source of income from employment. And that was holding steady around between 10 and 12% for a decade. And then once the inflationary crisis hit in 2022, that jumped up to 14%. And now it's 1 in 5. So now it's almost 20% of people who are getting their main source of income from employment or accessing food banks.
I don't always go all the time. Like I go if I absolutely have to. There have been times where I didn't go for like a few months at a time or even like 4 months at a time. But then, it'll be a month where it's like Christmas or March break or especially the summer. The summer is the worst. It's so expensive because my kids go to camp and there's like a small partial subsidy because I'm disabled and my daughters also have autism, my twins. So it's just very difficult.
This is important, not only in Toronto, where there's more than 1 in 10 now have to rely on the food banks that we provide food to across the city, but across the country, we're still not seeing a return to normal. At best, we're seeing a plateauing, and if this is the new norm, that should be troubling for every Canadian.